Hey, are you keeping your customers appropriately informed? No, wait. That's the wrong question. Here's the right question. Would your customer say that you're keeping them appropriately informed? On today's 5-minute sales training, we'll talk about customer care in new home sales, how to establish communication patterns. Well, welcome back everyone to the 5-minute sales training, where today we'll continue our 3-part series on customer care in new home sales. Part 2 is all about establishing appropriate communication patterns. If you're enjoying these videos, don't forget to let YouTube know by hitting the like button and commenting as well. That engagement really helps us to boost our audience. You know, during the contract to closing period, the single biggest deficit in most home builders' process is the failure to frequently and proactively communicate construction status with home buyers. But you already know that keeping customers informed was an important part of the job. You did know that, right? But there's a nuance at play here. There is a subtlety that you have to be aware of.
Subtle?
It's not just about keeping them informed. It's about keeping them informed without them having to ask. Now that's critical, and I talk about it extensively in my new book, From Contract to Close, co-authored by the great Bob Merman. From Contract to Close is now in pre-sale. You can go to shop.jeffshore.com to pre-order the book at a lower price than you'll get on our launch day in September. Now, we have a chapter of the book dedicated to this kind of communication pattern, one that keeps you ahead of your customer in how often they hear from you. And it is so critical that you do just that. Consider the mental processing that occurs when a home buyer does not hear proactively from their salesperson. What happens when they cross the line into believing that if they don't call for an update, they won't be updated?
Do I have to do everything?
The questions go unanswered. The doubts begin to appear. And then begins the psychological phenomenon called catastrophizing.
Babe, you're catastrophizing.
We're in a catastrophe and a pandemic!
Catastrophizing happens when a customer begins to conjure up a worst-case scenario. In time, the customer believes that if they do not initiate communication, they'll be left entirely in the dark. Psychologists have defined this basic principle. In the absence of information, we tend to think that the worst is going to happen. Now, most of the negative comments received in home buyer satisfaction evaluations are about a lack of effective communication. Although many of these complaints mention the failure of the salesperson to respond in a timely fashion, or not at all, most of the communication complaints were about being kept in the dark, not told about all of their options, not given sufficient and timely information about the status of their home's construction or the loan status, and basically only being given information if the buyer first posed the question. So that lack of proactive communication is the primary point of failure, requiring urgent improvement. Now think about the journey from your customer's viewpoint. This is one of the most important transactions of their entire life. The process is mentally all-consuming. Customers lose sleep thinking about the details, the issues, their hopes, and their dreams.
Dear Sleepless in Seattle.
But nothing keeps them awake more than the fear of the unknown. Their own uncertainty keeps their anxiety at a high level. Customers who are not proactively informed feel very much alone and abandoned. In time, the relationship becomes adversarial. They become labeled by the builder as a difficult buyer, simply because they're asking about things that should have been told to them in the first place. Now, it is true that some people are going to be difficult no matter what you do. My concern is with the buyers who do not start out being difficult, but are forced into a more aggressive stance in dealing with their builder simply as a self-protective act. Your only option? Get in front of the request. Talk to them before they talk to you. Be proactive. Serve them the way that you would want to be served. Thanks for watching, and remember to check out the new book on pre-order today at shop.jeffshore.com. And until next time, learn more to earn more.